tell everybody that they can tune in www.airventure.org/webcam and watch everything, listen to everything from tower feeds to golf carts riding around. It's fantastic, and we're getting better at it every year. Ordinarily, we would be announcing the volunteer winners. They didn't come to us, so we'll catch up on that tomorrow night. Before I introduce Matt Jolly of Warbird Radio, probably the best introduction to the Mars incredible aircraft is to roll a video. So please roll it.
It's the world's biggest water bomber with 30 tons of flame-killing payload.
When you get a big fire on your hands, this is the aircraft that can get the job done.
It's constantly on call to battle flames in the toughest conditions.
They don't call you because there might be a fire tomorrow. It's called because there's already something happening really bad.
It's not for the weak at heart.
Now this Canadian plane is on its most perilous mission ever.
A good chunk of Mexico is on fire.
It's a very dangerous business.
It's up to the Mars to keep Mexico's wilderness from going up in smoke. Early spring on Sprout Lake, Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. Home of Coulson's flying tankers and the Mars, the world's largest water bomber. Coulson's mechanics are hard at it. After a long winter in storage, the Mars needs to get in the air today.
You come to work and you prepare to get dirty every day.
Fires are already burning in the US and Mexico, and that means business. Every hour on the lake is an hour off the pay clock. The Mars has fought fires in California, British Columbia, and across Canada. So when the call comes, aircraft and crew must be ready to fly.
Mars always looks good bobbing around Sprout Lake. It's coming together.
Jim Messer, operations manager for the Mars, is focused on preparing the plane for the first test flight of the season.
Now we're just really getting geared up. Mars season in British Columbia, you always get the scramble when you least expect it, so just preparedness, go through the checklist.
The air crew is returning for the new season. Everything looks good, until it isn't. They've got an engine problem.
Everything's so old that you don't know where to start. Is it wiring? Is it mechanical? Is it an overhauled part we just put on? It keeps you thinking, keeps you hopping on your toes. The stressful part of the job is being under the pressure when the plane breaks, when we're getting ready to go somewhere.
7 Mars seaplanes were built to haul US troops and cargo during World War II. By the late 1950s, the flying boats were headed for the scrap heap. But a group of BC foresters had an idea. Convert them into water bombers. The Mars was reborn. After more than 5 decades, only 2 of the planes remained. It looked like their firefighting days were over. Then the Mars found another savior.
First time I saw the aircraft was with my father when I was about 10 years old. Back then, I just remember it being one heck of a big aircraft.
In 2007, BC entrepreneur Wayne Coulson saw an opportunity to export their capabilities across the continent. He upgraded one of the planes and started promoting the Mars for firefighting jobs across North America. With its advanced aeronautics and firefighting technology, there's no better weapon in the battle against forest fires.
These aircraft have been here for 50 some odd years. They've done over 8,000 drops on wildfires. These things kill fire. That's what they do.
The only Mars still flying measures 36 meters long, and its tail reaches 12 meters above the water. Its 60-meter wingspan is almost double that of a Boeing 737. Fully loaded, it tips the scales at 75,000 kilograms, the same weight as a space shuttle.
Please welcome
The maintenance
crew
crew spent an hour sorting
this
out the
jet.
engine problem.
Let's hear it. Good evening, everybody. My name is Matt Jolly, the host of Warburg Radio Live at WarburgRadio.com. I want to bring out our friends tonight. For the Martain Mars team, this is Mr. Wayne Coulson here will introduce us to everybody that's here tonight. This is not what Newt Gingrich had in mind when he was talking about Mars and landing, but you've pulled it off successfully here at AirVenture. Welcome to A2 to AirVenture and to the United States. Well, we're glad to have you here. Let's make sure we have hot mics. Look at this gentleman here. We all know who this is, Kermit Weeks. Now, for those of you who don't know, these gentlemen who are up here represent not only flight engineers, but also captains on the aircraft. Some of them have been with the airplane well over half its life. And the aircraft now turning 71, so you can do the math. Wayne, you said you had a senior captain here with it. I ribbed you.
John DeBorche here tonight, who's been with the aircraft almost 40 years.
Right.
And Roy Copeland, 36 years.
Incredible. Thanks for being here. This thing comes over and it's a zip code, is it not? I mean, it's massive. It is a massive, massive airplane.
Maybe it is the largest airplane built during that World War II era, with bigger than any of the Allies, or the Germans or the Japanese.
7 of them built total, as we were discussing back there. The original one, though, of course, we lost. The original Hawaii Mars was lost. So then they rebuilt this one. You, under your company there, you have 2 of these. You have the Mars that is here, the Hawaii Mars.
We have the Hawaii Mars here, and we also have the Philippine Mars, which is at home, and it's been stripped and painted, totally zero timed out, and is actually in excellent condition, pristine condition.
Well, before we get into the adventure that you took to get here to AirVenture, I want to talk about the meat and potatoes, because this airplane, at the end of the day, it is a weapon of war when it comes to fire. So let's talk about that a little bit, because that's the real mission here. Who wants to handle about some of the firebombing mission? Who do you think we should pick on?
We got John DeBorche with us as our senior captain, and he is a warlord. This guy goes toe-to-toe with wildfire. He is the best of the best on Mars. So maybe John wants to tell us some story.
Yeah, John, I think everybody would like to hear something here. I mean, what is it like to fly this beast of an airplane into war with fire?
Exciting. You get used to it as just a big airplane. It's slow to respond. Takes a little more room to maneuver, but we do a tremendous job of making it work.
Yeah, and you do a good job of that too. You were saying that your family was in the timber business. I thought this was so fascinating. That was your first experience with this aircraft.
30-some-odd years ago, I bought 3 separate flyers under the Mars where we thought we would use large volumes of timber. And, we had the twins come in, and 14,000 gallons later, the fire is virtually out, and we're back cleaning up. So they were an amazing firefighting tool.
The twins. I like that. Everybody out here, I think, agrees with me that we've all seen the movie Always. You know where I'm going with this, right? So you own 2 Martain Mars firebombers, and you've got to start to think about it like you're fishing, your buddies are fishing, and you're out flying, fighting fires, magic happens. I asked this in the green room, I'm like, come on guys, level with me. You know you've recreated that scene from Always where they rock the guys out of the boat, right? That's what we'd all do if we had it, and look, he's already smiling. He's already smiling. You want to hear the story? I mean, this is a good one. This is a good one. Let's hear this.
Yeah.
So the boat is pulling out around the cove there, and what happens?
Talking about that one. friends of mine were on the lake. This was quite a few years ago. And we had dropped on people before, so they were very wary of us. Because I knew they were there. And there's a hill, actually this year it hurt, but there's this hill in the middle of the lake, and we taxi by it, we take off, and we pick up down the lake, and we came back, and these guys dove into a little bay. So I went around the mountain, and they didn't know I had gone around the mountain. And I came up the other side, and they were out in the middle, and they had nowhere to go. They got wet.
Wow. It's a good thing you didn't sink the boat. I mean, that's the... How much water? I mean, are we talking about here?
7,200 gallons of water.
Wow. Kermit Weeks is here with us from Fantasy of Flight, and third act opening soon. We're all looking forward to it. I want to ask you something, Kermit. What is our fascination, right down to the human spirit, what is our fascination with machines that fly and float?
I think we all have a fascination with flight because of the metaphor.
No.
Give the mic. Turn it on. Maybe they didn't turn me on. I'm turned on. But basically, you know what Fantasy of Flight's all about is what the metaphor of flight is. And I think everyone, even if they're not aviation enthusiasts, can relate to what the metaphor is. I defy you to come up with a better metaphor for pushing our boundaries, reaching beyond ourselves, and freedom. And everything out here is an expression of the human experience. And this Martain Mars with the biggest flying boat, and what these guys all do, and they're pushing their boundaries, and trying to save forests and things like that. And they've done. They've learned a lot along the way. They've made it a very safe operation, and they are flying this thing beyond what the Navy ever imagined. The Navy always had pretty much an infinite horizon, and these guys flying these things in the mountains in smoky conditions, and loaded way beyond what the airplane was flown at, and tight turns and stuff. It's an amazing operation that they've done, and they deserve a lot of credit to be here.
Well, you brought Kermit here on the airplane, which is really cool. I mean,
We're lucky to have Kermit join us. We spent the last 14 days up on Vancouver Island.
Mike,
Mic check.
fix the mics.
Hello. Hello, there we go. So Kermit joined us 14 days ago up on where we live in Vancouver Island, British Columbia. And we've been honored to have Kermit join us, the team, and he is a true aviator and has such a passion for aviation. And of course we have such a passion for the Mars. So Kermit fit right in as one of the flight crew with us, and we've had nothing but a good time. And Kermit got to take off and land and go drop a little water and experience everything that these guys do every day for us as a company. So it's been an honor to have Kermit with us.
how does it fly compared to the Sunderland?
It's quite a bit bigger. In fact, it's almost twice as big as the Sunderland. If you go out on a wingtip, you have to walk in 40 feet to get to the wingspan of the Sunderland. Well, you saw it fly over today. It's absolutely massive. And they offer this ultimate flying experience up there. They're trying to promote that. There's a little website on the side of the mountain, or the side of Martain Mars. It is a mountain. And but basically, if you have any interest in going to do that, I mean, I think I got the ultimate flying experience, and I really appreciate that way. And all the people here, they were great. I asked a lot of questions to everybody. I got to crawl around the airplane. At some point after the flying, I took a lot of video. I'll post a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I did a kind of a Kearney cam walkthrough through the airplane. It was like over an hour, so that will be coming down the road.
Over an hour. You told me something. Get this. You can stand up in the tail of the airplane.
You can stand in the tail of the aircraft and actually walk inside the wing to get to the outboard motor. And in the old days, when they were going out to the Hawaiian Islands, they would shut one engine off, and then the oiler would go out. You climb in the wing and put oil in the motor. They shut that. They fire that one out, and then you go to the other one, and it's just amazing. You think that this airplane was designed in the 30s and with a pencil and ruler, and was built in the early 40s, and here we are 71 years later, enjoying the airplane at the Oshkosh Air Show, which thank you very much everybody for having us, by the way, and being able to have an aircraft that everybody can enjoy.
Well said. We're going to get to Q&A here in a little while, and we're going to wait. Don't worry, this young lady's going to reach into your pocket and I won't take what she just said, but it's a family show tonight. So the Martain Mars, though, and as large as this airplane is, I haven't heard any of these senior flight engineers or captains talk about its size being necessarily ominous. This is sort of like the elephant that you all love and deeply care for. Share with us, one of the engineers, maybe a hidden favorite about this airplane that you just think back on, and maybe 10 years from now you're going to be sitting there coming a pair saying, my God, do I miss this? What would that be from an engineer's perspective?
Well, the only thing I could really say about that aircraft, like I say, I'm into my 37th year with it. The greatest thing about that aircraft is its capability to do the job that it does do, firefighting. There is a better aircraft in the world for initial attack on fires. And my greatest love, of course, is firefighting and that aircraft. Its uniqueness and the way it's been built, the simplicity, the serviceability, the reliability of the aircraft. I don't think there's a better one in the world for its age. And I'm not allowed to say age, but
yeah.
And it has a lot of years left in it. It's been very well maintained, and it's like I say, a very serviceable aircraft, very reliable.
One of the questions that came in on our radio station when they found out that we were going to do this tonight, they said, well, you're all Canadian. I'd have to ask this. How much beer does it hold? How much Molson can you hold in that airplane? Because, yeah, there you go. So a lot of it, and you talk about the water. What did we see today? I mean, that was a nice drop today at AirVenture. Did everyone see that? I mean, it was spectacular. We thought it disappeared. Today what was the load today? 5,400 imperial gallons today. That's a lot of water. There's some fish out there on the runway wondering how they got there. Yeah. And a mermaid, Kermit says. So captains, now that same question. What are you going to miss about this aircraft? Yeah. A lot of interesting people. Anyone that you want to share with us that stands out?
The best one for me was the fellow from.
There you go.
Fellow from Minneapolis was a Northwest Airlines captain. I think he's probably gone now. He came out for a visit in 2000. I think it was 2. And he was very sick with cancer. And he phoned a bed and breakfast and came out to Sprout Lake. He called, yes, the plane's there. He came, woke up in the morning, the planes were gone. And he chased the airplane, came over to the base, found out where they were, and he hopped in his car, him and his wife, and drove up to the interior of BC, and happened to walk into the hotel I was in. Saw my shirt, and he says, where's Philippine Mars? I have to see Philippine Mars. And I talked to him for a bit, and I said, well, we're heading out to the airplane. If you want to give me a ride, I'll take you out there, because it was kind of a hard route. I got to the base, and the Zodiac was there, so I took him out to Philippine Mars, and we went to a window in the airplane with tears in his eyes, and he said, that's the window. 19 hours I looked out that window from my structure. I mean, it's very humbling when you meet people like that. And lots of stories like that.
And it's these stories that we're trying to preserve, and that brings us up to the next point. That this airplane is 71 years old. It's it's reached a safe lifetime in firefighting, and it's ready to go into its next mission. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. now it's time to find a new life for an aircraft. Like most things in business, you have to learn to recreate yourself, re-energize a business. And we fight fire throughout the world with our C-130s and our helicopters. So I've been in pretty much every boardroom worldwide looking at the opportunities for this aircraft, and because we would take it anywhere in the world to fight fire. But the market has now changed, and everyone's moved on to the newer, higher powered air tankers. So now we're looking to reinvent that aircraft again. Looking for a new home for it. We've been talking to the folks at Pensacola. We're looking for someone who may be interested in purchasing the Y to the right person. Kermit would be a great guy for it. So we're here, and we have lots of fans worldwide that follow us. And part of our passion for the airplane was giving it a send-off to people to see it, to enjoy it like we have. And we loved it as a family, this airplane, and we love what it stands for. We love what it stood for in the Navy. We love what it stands for in the world of wildfire, because we've done a lot of good work, and I give all the credit to these gentlemen sitting beside me that put their life in their hands to go save somebody else. It's a great, it's been a great, a lot of fun for me.
So the airplane is from what city?
We live in Port Alberni on Vancouver Island, British Columbia.
So check Craigslist on Monday morning and
2 for 1 bill.
2 for 1.
We make deals.
I want to ask you guys on the crew, because Wayne and I were talking back there. We were all back there having a good time, and he said when the airplane leaves, tell us what the small town does when the airplane leaves and when it comes back. What happens when people pull over and they see you in their cars or come over? And Wayne, you were sharing this. It's a brilliant story.
Right, but we have this tradition in our community because everybody, of course, loves this airplane. So every time we lift off, or except when we're going to a fire, we come home, we do a 300-foot scan around the town, and honestly, everybody pulls over on the side of the road and waves at the airplane. People come out of the house, and you can just watch it cross now the country on Facebook, where people will post pictures of the aircraft, and it's just amazing the love that we have for the airplane in our community.
It's a bit of a nightmare from a logistics perspective. This was, I won't mention names. She may be here tonight. This was honestly asked to us on Warburg Radio. The young woman asked, "How do you handle those automated fuel